Why travelers flock to infamous crime scenes became tourist hotspots. Dark tourism pulls millions towards sites of tragedy, disaster, and violence each year. Places where the worst moments in human history unfolded have become bucket list vacation spots. This trend raises complex questions about ethics, memory, and the human urge to witness where horror happened. The pull of an infamous crime scene goes beyond mere morbid fascination. Psychologists suggest walking the physical grounds of a famous crime turns abstract trauma into a real place. You seek closure or a link to history when you visit these spots, yet this desire to bear witness often clashes with the dignity of victims and the local communities left behind. Looks at the strange crossover between true crime and global travel. We will explore specific historic locations, look at economic and ethical impacts, and share rules for respectful visits. You will see why travelers still pack their bags for the world as most notorious addresses. People feel a strong pull toward dark history because of human survival instincts. You want to look at danger from a safe distance to understand it without getting hurt. Psychologists call this protective framing. When you watch true crime shows or read scary stories at home, your brain preps you to seek out physical sites later. Podcasts, documentaries, and social media fuel your desire to visit real crime spots. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube turn quiet memorial sites into viral stops. You watch a case online and soon you want to stand right where it happened. True crime fandom now moves from digital screens straight to physical trips. Tourists want to see everything, but locals often want to protect their peace. Local governments face a tough choice when violence happens on their turf. Do they tear down the building, seal it off, or sell tickets? Money talks, but respect for the dead matters too.
Balancing public remembrance with sensationalist sightseeing, tourists crowd the grassy knoll every day to take photos and look for clues. Museum staff work hard to keep a quiet and respectful vibe in a busy city space. They want you to learn about the tragedy, not treat it like a theme park. Jack the Ripper walking tours, mapping Victorian London's most gruesome murders, the canonical murders, and the mystery of Whitechapel. Jack the Ripper terrorized the poor East End of London in 1888. He killed at least 5 women known as the canonical victims: Marion Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. No one ever caught the killer, and his real name remains unknown. The rise of commercialized Ripper Trails guides lead big groups down dark London alleys every night to retrace the steps of the killer. These tours weave through modern neighborhoods that still show hints of old Victorian poverty. You walk past fancy cafes while hearing tales of ancient blood and fog. The controversy over exploiting misogyny and poverty for entertainment. Some historians and locals hate these tours because they profit from violence against women. Critics say the walks make a game out of real human suffering. Good tour guides now change their script to talk more about the hard lives of Victorian women rather than just the killer. Guidelines for ethical dark tourism. How to visit crime scenes respectfully, researching the history before you arrive. Do your homework before you book a tour or buy a ticket. Read books or long-form articles about the real people involved in the tragedy. This keeps your mind focused on learning the facts instead of chasing cheap thrills. Respecting memorials and local communities. Treat crime sites with the same care you would give a graveyard. Do not pose for silly photos, act out the crimes, or drop trash on the ground. Real people live and work near these spots, and they deserve your basic courtesy. Supporting responsible and educational operators. Pick tour groups run by museums, local nonprofits, or city historical societies. Your money should help fix up the site or support charities that help victims. Avoid companies that only want to shock you with fake blood and cheap scares. On the bloody history behind San Francisco's most famous island, Alcatraz held some of the worst criminals in America from 1934 to 1963. Inmates like Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly lived behind its thick concrete walls. The Battle of Alcatraz in 1946 led to a brutal 6-day strike that left 5 people dead. Converting a house of horrors into a national historic landmark, the federal government closed the prison because it cost too much to run. Today, the National Park Service runs the island as a top tourist draw. Over 1 million visitors buy ferry tickets to the Rock every single year. It brings in big money for the local economy. Navigating the visitor experience without glorifying violence. Park guides work hard to teach history without making crime look cool. You can wear headphones and listen to an audio tour with real voices of past guards and inmates. The stories focus on daily life and failed escapes instead of blood and gore. The Lizzie Borden House, capitalizing on 19th century infamy. Unpacking the brutal Fall River murders of 1892. Andrew and Abby Borden were hacked to death with an axe in their Massachusetts home in 1892. Police arrested their daughter Lizzie for the crime. A jury set her free, but the case never found a true killer. It remains a famous piece of American folklore. Transforming a crime scene into a bed and breakfast. The old house on 2nd Street now operates as a museum and overnight bed and breakfast. You can book a room to sleep in the exact spot where the murders took place. The owners kept the old Victorian look to give guests a spooky throwback experience. Monetizing macabre memorabilia. For the true crime consumer, gift shops sell plenty of strange items to true crime fans. You can buy axe-shaped keychains, ghost hunt tickets, and shirts with Lizzie's face on them. This business model turns old family pain into a steady stream of cash. Dealey Plaza and the 6th Floor Museum, preserving a national trauma. The fateful day in Dallas that altered American history. President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed on November 22, 1963. Shots rang out as his open-top car drove through Dealey Plaza in Dallas. That single event shook the American public and changed the country forever. The evolution of the Texas School Book Depository into a museum. Lee Harvey Oswald fired the fatal shots from a 6th-floor window of the Texas School Book Depository. People talked about tearing the building down after the tragedy. Instead, leaders turned the upper floors into the 6th Floor Museum to teach the facts of that day. Supporting responsible and educational operators. Pick tour groups run by museums, local nonprofits, or city historical societies. Your money should help fix up the site or support charities that help victims. Avoid companies that only want to shock you with fake blood and cheap scares. Conclusion: crime scenes turn into tourist hotspots because people want to touch real history. Sites like Alcatraz, the Lizzie Borden House, Dealey Plaza, and the streets of Whitechapel survive because they offer a physical link to our past. You visit them to see the raw edges of human behavior up close. The value of dark tourism depends on your mindset and how the site is run. Approach these places with an open mind, respect for the dead, and a focus on learning. When you do that, your trip turns from a weird hobby into a deep look at human history.